Well, Jed, it's week 15, and it's just you and me this week as we start the playoffs. Tommy's in meetings. I'm in California. You're in Chicago. How are you feeling about the playoffs this week?
Well, I like in our league, I've got to buy. So although you beat me last week, so that's good. Um, but I've got to buy this week. But my other league I thought was starting this week, but I found out there's an extra week. So now I'm in a 4-way tie for third, fourth. So that league, only the top four.
Wait, you have
Teams
an
get
extra
in.
you have an extra week. You don't start playoffs until next week.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
think it was.
that's
I think the commissioner made a mistake. I don't think we've done that normally in that
okay.
league, and I think he just made a mistake and forgot to change it because that's probably the default.
Yeah.
So I really don't like it. But anyway, so I got to win this week, and I'm playing the number one team though, so it's not
Yeah.
looking good. So
No,
we'll see.
it's hard, right? Because like this week, Herbert's out.
Yep.
You've got Keenan Allen out, and
Yep.
so for some of these
Well,
people,
Tyreek Hill, that's the big
Tyreek
one.
Hill, right?
Tyreek
Like
Hill, yeah.
it's almost like you spent this entire season building your team. You get into the playoffs, and then your guys are out, right? So I mean, you're kind of screwed over unless you can find some good backups. And right now, it's hard to find some good quarterbacks out there.
Oh yeah, no, everything. That's why you were laughing at me on my one team. I'm carrying 3 quarterbacks because you just at this point in the game, like you gotta have you can't
Yeah.
lose that point production.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think there's wisdom in that now, right? Because like what they've gone through, 50 something quarterbacks this year.
yeah,
I actually think that each team now almost has to have two, maybe three quarterbacks
yeah,
on your roster.
yeah. Well, I was carrying that team. I was carrying Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, and Tua. And so
Okay.
Justin Herbert went out, but now I've got Brock. I'm actually playing Brock Purdy this week, so I've got Purdy and Tua. So
Okay. Yeah.
I need to-
Tua's kind of struggled a little bit. I feel like if you're going to go for somebody consistent and somebody that, especially right, like because it's if you win, you move on. If you don't, you're out, right? You almost want to go for the one with the least risk.
Yeah, well, and Tua, especially with Tyreek. I mean, the reason I had him is because I had Tyreek. So then
Yeah.
playing both of them is great. I love playing a quarterback with his number one wide receiver. But yeah, I'm sitting Tua. So in that league, well, that's our league, but I'm not going to play anyone in that league, so it doesn't matter. But I would sit Tua if I had him in another league.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at the scores right now. Just as it's 0-0,
Yep.
but it's an interesting game right now because what do you call it? San Diego lost Herbert.
Yep.
They lost Keenan Allen. I don't even know how.
Oh, Raiders just scored. I think it was
did they?
I think it's that backup running back everyone was picking up off the way.
Oh, Zamir White.
Yeah, I think White might have see where is it? I think White might have just scored.
Yeah.
Yep, White just scored. So if you picked him up because Josh Jacobs was out, then you're in good shape.
No, that's great. Well, because Devontae Adams isn't doing too well. He's only he was feeling sick, right? Two receptions, 31 yards, and no one knew how this new quarterback for San Diego was going to do. Easton Stick, and he's only done 1 for 2 for 1 yard. So they can struggle tonight potentially.
Yeah, we'll see. So 7-0 to the Raiders right now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's run through a couple of news and notes.
Sure.
News and notes. I was looking at it right now. Josh Jacobs, as we said, is out. Devontae Adams wasn't doing well, but he's out. Brian Robinson remains sidelined for Thursday's practice. Do you think that Antonio Gibson is going to be a good pickup this week?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah. I would just keep monitoring. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Gibson either. So ideally you could look somewhere else, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people are actually, you got to really scour your waiver wires because a lot of people, everybody's desperate. And so they're dropping significant players, and so there's definitely opportunity to pick if you pay attention.
Yeah, totally. Chris Godwin remains silent. Is that somebody that you're willing? I mean, he hasn't been doing too well this year as it is.
Yeah. Tampa has not been the same. So yeah.
Okay. Christian Watson most likely will not play, did not practice this week. But I think the person that you want to play on that team for the Packers, it's going to be what's his name? Who's that wide receiver that everyone really likes?
Let me see.
Jaden. I have him on a couple of my teams.
I avoid a lot of the Green Bay players, so I'm looking up to see who you're thinking of because Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jaden
Jaden.
Reed. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jaden
yeah,
Reed is good. So
yeah. That's not a bad pickup. It looks like he's the first. Yeah, he's a pretty popular pickup actually. He's projected pretty well. Wide receiver 24. That's not too bad for this week.
yeah,
Yeah,
but Jordan Love's been good, right? And I think this week they're going to get Aaron Jones back as well too. So I actually can see them doing actually a pretty good thing this week.
yeah. Jordan Love is top 10. He's been top 10 for at least the past 3 or 4 weeks, but he's ranked number 9 this week.
Yeah,
Roughly 9 or 10. I mean, that's a pretty good. Yeah, I would take
yeah,
those odds.
yeah. There's a couple of good players out there that I've been eyeing that like if you pick them up, they actually might be. Rasheed Rice is still surprisingly out
Mm.
there for a lot of these teams. So, but I know you have Tyreek Hill. He's not practicing. What are you going to do? Are you going to try to? Are you hoping
Yeah.
that you're going to take the risk?
No, I'm not going to play him. So the guy I've been using is Jordan Addison in
Okay.
place. So that'll be an interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see because Justin Jefferson's not playing. I don't think.
No,
Um,
the hard part about Jordan Anderson is Justin Jefferson went out last week
yep.
because of an injury. This week he says he's going to play, but you don't know how well he's going to do. And they're going to make a change in the quarterback as well too. So even though an Anderson is slated to score 11 points,
Yep.
you're not really sure how he's going to work.
Yeah, and they're playing the Bengals, so the Bengals are 3-point favorites in that game. But I don't know. That's who I'm thinking to roll the dice with, because Addison is quite the talent, so it's not a bad backup plan.
Yeah, yeah. Jefferson. So I think some people are coming in. Just full transparency, I'm in this office. And
Yeah, if you need to take off, that's cool.
yeah, I will. Okay, let's run through a couple games. Vikings versus Bengals. Browning's been doing pretty good for the Bengals.
Yeah, no, if you played him last week, you probably won your matchup because he had 3 touchdowns last week, and yeah, that was probably the surprise pickup of the week last week. It's Browning.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
him and the Giants. Who's the Giants quarterback? Everyone.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah,
A
DeVito.
lot of people, yeah, his stats aren't as good as Browning. Browning has
Yeah.
better stats, but he's been winning 3 straight games right now.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And of course, you got to
Yeah.
listen to the Manning brothers commentary on his agent on the sidelines. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, but the Bengals, okay, so do you think this? I've been reading a lot about Chris Brown, the backup running back for Cincinnati.
Mhm.
What do you think about him? Is he worth picking up on the waiver wire?
That's not a bad call. I was just gonna see like where he's ranked.
Yeah,
Looks
I mean
like
he
he's
scored double digits last week. Of course,
yeah,
many of it came in one run.
yeah,
They still have Joe Mixon, but he's somebody that everyone keeps saying you want to pay attention to because whether it's this year or next year,
yeah.
he's somebody who's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, that's not a bad call, Chase Brown. I mean, I think it's a little bit like you said, if you're playing for next year, but I think for this weekend, I don't know that I would do that. For this particular Sunday, I think I might try to look somewhere else and see if somebody dropped like, I don't know, even a Jerome Ford on Cleveland, if there's Zamir White we just missed for Las Vegas. If you picked him
Yeah.
up and played him, you got your points. He just scored. So, and like you said, Antonio Gibson maybe even is out there. Yeah. Oh, actually, I like Tajay Spears on Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, but the only problem is, didn't Derrick Henry do so well last week?
Yes.
Though?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. So that is the issue. But they're playing Houston. You could see a lot of split time there. So maybe he'll get some carries.
Okay. What about Justin Jefferson? Would you play him? Like I've benched him in one of my leagues that I'm playing, even though he's projected to score close to 18 points. But for now, I've kind of kept him on the bench. I might move him later on.
Yeah, he said. Well, yeah, he said he's playing. It looks like.
Yeah, but like last week, I played him and he went
Yeah.
out, and I feel like they're going to be extra careful with him. So that's one of the reasons why, like for me, it was either choosing somebody like an Achane or
Yeah.
even Jerome Ford versus playing Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I agree. You got to be safe. I think Achan's out too, though, isn't he?
Yeah, Achane, even though he's been out, he hasn't been doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Achane's been struggling.
Yeah, I'm playing Mostert in at least one league, so he's been good. But I wanted to see if Achan is. Yeah, it says he's got a toe issue. Missed his second practice now in a row this week, so we got to keep paying attention to that.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, Vikings versus Bengals, it's a Saturday game. So there's 3 Saturday games this week. The second one, Broncos versus Lions. David Montgomery, even though he's the co-starter, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is really the starter. He's the one, and then David Montgomery is the 1A. Yeah. Who do you like in that game, fantasy-wise?
I take both of them. I mean, because Montgomery gets the goal line carries, right? So you get the touchdown. That's an interesting game. You expect the Lions to bounce back, right? They lost to the Bears. Kind of embarrassed, really. The Bears pretty much handled them straight through. Lions are 4.5-point favorites against the Broncos. I expect the Lions to win this and to win pretty handily. So
really, I would pick the Broncos. I feel like there's so much momentum going right now. Russell Wilson, Portland Sutton's doing well.
I'm expecting the Lions stars to show up for this. They got to be mad after that game against the Bears.
I actually think that I can see the Lions, like right now that they're like the best team in the NFC Central. I can see Green Bay actually overtaking them. That's my
thought. That would be huge. That would be a big change.
Hey, speaking of which, do you think the Bears, there's some speculation that the Bears can potentially win a couple more and get in the playoffs? You think that they're even that good?
I think they're good. If you look at the last 3 games, Detroit, Vikings, Detroit, they played very well. The last 3 games, they could easily be 3-0 in those last 3 games. They shouldn't have lost that first one to Detroit when they were up by 12 in the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you this: their defense is good, right? Yeah. Because they got Brisker at 17 tackles.
Yep. And the new guy on the end.
Montez Sweat.
Sweat's been great. Just
here's my only problem with the Bears. It's not that I don't want them to win and get the playoffs. I don't want them thinking that they're better than they really are, and they're just going to keep everything as is. Because I do think that there needs to be some changes. I'm still up in the air as to whether or not they should keep Justin Fields.
Yeah, I like Fields still. I thought, he's come around. He was a big part of their winning the last 3 games, but I definitely am not a fan of the coach. I think the coach should go.
Yeah. But Broncos versus Lions, I actually like Cortland Sutton in that game. He's been really good. Russell Wilson. I do think Broncos is going to win over Lions.
That would be a good upset.
Yeah. Steelers versus Colts. That's the Saturday night game. Trubisky's not doing well. And so are you playing any of the Steelers players?
Wow. Yeah, actually probably none of the Steelers players. I was just trying to find the line. Here it is. So the Colts are favored 1.5. Wow, that's surprising it's that low. No, I'm not a fan of the Steelers offense. In fact, I don't think I played a single Steeler. Oh no, I had Warren for a little while, but he's the only Steeler I played all season. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of them.
Jaylen Warren was doing really good, for a little bit, but I feel like he's come down to earth. Najee Harris hasn't done anything. Yeah. I think George Pickens is overhyped, and you would think Deontay Johnson, but they lost their quarterback, so I feel like they have nothing going on.
I like the Colts, though. I like Michael Pittman. I've been playing him probably the last 5-6 weeks. Really solid. Always gets his receptions. Might not get the yards, but he always gets his receptions. If he gets a touchdown, then you're in really good shape.
Yeah. I think with Gardner Minshew, though, he's actually, for some of these people who are missing out, like a Justin Herbert, and there's no quarterback, Minshew actually is a pretty good pickup for them.
Oh, yeah. If you can find him off the waiver, that's not a bad pickup at all.
Yeah. Zach Moss, right? Zach Moss is a good running back that you play on flex as well, too. So, Bears versus Browns. Who do you see winning that game?
Hey, the Browns are 3-point favorites. That's about right. The Browns' defense is incredible. I'm actually playing the Browns defense, which I kind of don't like having to do that, but they've been strong. And playing the Bears, you got to figure there's probably 1 or 2 turnovers in there. But I think the Browns are probably going to win this. But boy, I'd like to see the Bears string together another 4th good game.
Where's the game at? Is it in Cleveland?
It looks like it's in Chicago, I think.
Chicago, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so Flacco just signed, right? He's getting paid $75,000 for each game.
Yeah.
And he gets like $1 million if he can get them into the playoffs, and then another $2 million if he wins the Super Bowl.
Oh wow!
And so it's a pretty decent contract. Ford is out there. I know Cooper is injured. I actually, to be honest, I'll pick the Bears over the Browns on this one.
Wow! We're going opposites this day so far. That's pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and here's the thing. I think Moore and I think Fields is doing pretty well, and I think they've got something to prove. And their defense for the Bears is so good right now.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah,
can pressure Flacco and make him make some mistakes.
yeah.
Yeah. Chiefs versus Pats. Chiefs lost last week to Buffalo. They've struggled. The rumor out of New England right now is Belichick is gone after
Oh, I
this.
know. I heard that. That is
Yeah.
huge.
Who you picking? I mean, who do you like
Well,
there?
the Chiefs are 8.5 point favorites, so you're really banking on the spread if you're picking the Patriots, and I wouldn't do that. I think, although the Patriots defense has been decent this year, I think I'm sticking with the Chiefs on this one. Again, they got to be pretty mad. You guys saw how mad Mahomes was this past weekend, so I think they turned things around.
I think Rashee Rice has emerged as the number one wide receiver. Travis Kelsey has struggled, but you always have to play him. And then on the Pats, actually, everybody else has struggled except last week, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah,
And whether or not they play Zappy again,
no.
he actually at least was able to move the ball. But I think Elliott, he's coming in as what, the number 10, 11, or 12th ranked running back. So I think he's doing pretty good.
Zappy's not a bad call because the Chiefs' defense has not been great. So that's actually an interesting play. Throw Zappy in there. That might work.
Look, I would not be surprised because I know that I don't know why they were playing. Hi, how are you? That's okay. I don't know why they were playing, but I think Zappy would be a good
Yeah.
play too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see. Cowboys versus Bills. Who are you looking at for that?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Bills are 1.5 point favorites. Cowboys have been hot. Yeah, Bills really have been struggling a little bit. That's a tough game. I think I got to take the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, they've been really playing well and kind of timing is right going into the playoffs. So I think I take the Cowboys on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Dak Prescott is doing well, right? CeeDee Lamb. The only person that I'm always mixed up on is Brandon Cooks. Like 1 week he'll do really good, another week he won't. So you never know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, that's a tough call with Cooks, but yeah, we'll see. That should be a fun game. That's one of the better games of the week.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: I'm happy with Josh Allen because he's consistent. Right now, I feel like he's like the best quarterback out there. And in a couple of my leagues, he's my starting quarterback. And whereas everybody's trying to figure out what they want to do with their quarterback, I'm good. Josh Allen's doing pretty consistent right now.
Yeah, well, his legs have always helped him, so at least you always have that as a backup.
Yeah. And who is it? James Cook. Actually, he's kind of come back. There was a time where he kind of disappeared, but he's come back, and I feel like he's a good fantasy guy right now.
Yeah, that's true. The other person I think of is the wide receiver. What's his face?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. He's had a really quiet year. Man, actually, I don't even see him in the top 15.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
All right, and then let's run through a couple of these games. Ravens.
Oh no, there he is. He's top 10. Sorry, he's top 10.
Yeah. Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
but
Stephon Diggs.
I feel like he's struggled this year.
Yeah, he's been really quiet this year. It feels like so.
But Josh Allen struggled as well too. But he's really come on, and James Cook, I feel like, is a good play.
Yeah.
Okay, Ravens versus Jags. I've never been an Odell Beckham fan, but
he scored last week.
Look, if you're needing a wide receiver, number 3 wide receiver, he's a good person to have on your team, especially as you go into the playoffs.
Yeah, basically once Mark Andrews went out, that's who they've been targeting in the air games, so the passing games. So yeah, not a bad pickup at all. We all know he has a talent. So he's a little bit older, but it's not a bad play. Although the Jags defense has been pretty good. It looks like the Ravens are 3.5 point favorites, so that's gonna be a good battle.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is back. Isaiah Likely is somebody last week he scored double digits. I haven't picked him up, but he's actually somebody that you might want to pick up on your waiver wire.
Yeah, if he's on your waivers, you definitely should. I have him in one league, and like you said, he had double digit out last week, so good pickup for sure.
Yeah. And then lastly, Eagles versus Seahawks. I don't know if Geno Smith is going to play. And it could be Drew Lock, but DK Metcalf has been outstanding, and Kenneth Walker's there. But who do you like in that matchup?
Yeah, definitely. DK Metcalf has been fun. I did not have him this year. I've had him many years in the past, and we've always enjoyed having him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a great talent. So I think even with Locke, I think it's fine. Like they're gonna, there's gonna be a lot of passing. Seattle's probably gonna be behind in this game. I expect the Eagles to, want to. I think they're gonna come back out mad. I mean, you heard Jalen Hurts say, "Hey, we have not been playing well," and he put it on himself. I think they're going to put a show on, and so Seattle's going to be playing catch up, which means they got to
Yeah.
throw the ball a lot. So, not a bad play.
I mean, here's my only struggle with the Eagles, right? Who's really their runner?
Mm.
Who's their running back? Because I feel like they've gone through so much. And then also, like, I feel like their receivers, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, are so talented, but they've but disappeared the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, I put that on Jalen Hurts, as he said. So I think Hurts has got to turn things around a little bit, but I think he will. And Philadelphia. I mean, DeAndre Swift was their main. It's been their main running back, and he started off gangbusters for the first half of
Yeah.
the season. Has been a little bit down, but again, I think they'll pick things up. I wouldn't give up just quite yet.
Yeah. But I think, especially first round of the playoffs, I mean, you want to play the least risky players, right? Like, you just want to be able to kind of get to the next round. And right now, like people like Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Allen, those are the ones that you want to be able to focus on.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like if you're the last seed and you're playing like a number one seed, then you just got to swing for the fences. So
Yeah.
you got to
Oh,
play
that's
some.
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
got to play like your riskiest guys. But if you're like the leader, or if you're in the middle of the pack, then then you try to like just be consistent. But it just depends on your position.
Like a Josh Palmer, because
Yeah,
Josh Palmer
yeah,
is out there. Like I would play him because there's no other receivers out there, right?
yeah.
Whether or not this quarterback sticks is actually going to do good, I don't know. But those are types of risks that you want to take because potentially who else is he going to throw to?
Yeah, so look for those. Yeah, exactly. Those people who are playing basically for next year. Like they're
Yeah.
taking this as their chance to try out for their teams and show the coaches what they do. Those guys are motivated to play well. So,
Yeah.
you want to get those guys on your team.
Well, that's why like a Justin Fields and a DJ Moore, I think is actually going to do well, right, this week because whether Justin Fields stays with the Bears or not, he's auditioning for something.
Yep.
And he wants to play, right? He wants a big contract. And so he's motivated now to be able to kind of do well. And DJ Moore is going to be the prime recipient of that.
Man, DJ Moore has been good. If anyone's got him out there, he has been good the last few weeks. He's been targeted a lot. He's catching a lot. I mean, a lot of points. So it's been fun.
Do you think you'll keep him on your dynasty league?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, we'll have to see. That's a tough one. Obviously, Tyreek Hill. I think I still might keep Tua, and then it's probably down to DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Derrick Henry is an interesting one. I actually like Brock Purdy too. I'm not going to carry two quarterbacks, but I think Brock Purdy really underrated. The guy is a very good quarterback. So
I'll tell you this, Jed. If I'm going to choose between DJ Moore and Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to choose DJ Moore.
Over Ayuk.
I actually think DJ Moore is more talented. Because here's the problem with Ayuk that I have is sometimes it's not that he's inconsistent, but there are times where 1 week he's doing really good, and then he'll disappear in the next game.
Well, I will say Deebo Samuels, this is the best I've seen Deebo Samuels play with Brock Purdy. Like usually when Brock Purdy's a quarterback, Brandon Ayuk's the number one wide receiver. But the last couple of weeks, you really see Purdy has been spreading around and Deebo Samuels is really coming on. They're using him on those little jet screens, and Samuels is such a good after the catch runner. And so he's really come on and actually has been better than Ayuk the past few weeks.
The problem is I feel like the press doesn't give Purdy the I don't know why. I feel like they always downplay it because he was drafted so late. And so it's almost like they're winning despite Purdy. But I actually think Purdy's he had 3 games there where he was making some mistakes.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's pretty good.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So all right. Well, hey, have a great weekend. Good luck on week 15. And
you too. You're playing this week, right? Because I've got the bye, so you're playing this week. Yeah, good luck.
I know I was really trying to get. I wanted that bye, but here's the problem: is Eckler has been a struggle for me. And also Pollard has been a struggle for me. So, but Eckler's come back on, and I'm hoping, right? Like, let's look at the.
Oh, I would play Pollard this week for sure. I think Pollard's going to have a good game. Same with Eckler too. I would put both of them in.
Oh,
it's great.
21-0. Who just scored?
Oh, I missed it. My fault.
Yeah. That's okay. What the heck is going on there?
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. I wasn't paying attention to the game, but they're doing something.
Yeah, let me see who it was. O'Connell finds Tucker in the end zone, extending the Raiders' lead. So at least it was one passing touchdown.
Two touchdowns.
Yeah, it's 14. Oh, did they just score again? Oh, yeah, they did. So it's 21 now. So there was a passing touchdown, was the second one. It must be a third.
Oh, Jacoby Myers had a touchdown as well, too.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got
20-0.
22 yards. Yeah.
Chargers has been so disappointing this year.
They're going to fire their coach. Here's the problem, though. These guys keep firing their coaches. And I feel like these players are going to be like, what the heck is going on?
Yep.
So.
All right, man. Have a great weekend, too. And
right.
We'll have to see next week. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
Well, it's almost Christmas as well, too. So maybe we'll do I feel like we've got a couple more weeks, so we'll have a couple more episodes.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
All right, man. Bye.